Big boy. A heavyweight. Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this.
It allowed Jake Paul's brother to be in there and be able to last with a smaller man, a smaller, older, greater fighter who's mostly was concentrating on defense more than just offense.
Gervonta Davis has taken his training to a new extreme, sparring with heavyweights in preparation for his clash with Jake Paul. Despite the size difference, Davis isn't backing down. Reports from one intense session reveal that a heavyweight sparring partner was visibly shaken after Tank landed a devastating punch, proving his power is no joke.
No, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is once again commanding attention, this time by dominating heavyweight opponents during his high-intensity sparring sessions. Famous for his explosive power in the lightweight and super lightweight divisions, Davis is proving that size is no barrier to his strength. Recent footage shows him delivering lightning-fast combinations with precision, forcing much larger fighters onto the defensive. His ability to control tempo, slip counters, and respond with sharp, calculated attacks highlights just how focused his training has become. Every movement reflects a fighter fine-tuning not only his power but also his stamina and timing, key factors as he prepares for the physically demanding challenge of facing Jake Paul. Despite the clear size gap between Gervonta Davis and many of his sparring partners, Tank continues to push himself against opponents who outweigh him by a wide margin. These sessions aren't about brute force, they're about precision and control. Davis is mastering distance, rhythm, and explosiveness under pressure from bigger men. According to his team, this approach sharpens his timing and movement, preparing him for Jake Paul's unpredictable style. Knowing that Jake's greatest advantage is size, Davis is tackling that challenge head-on in training. By sparring heavyweights, he's stripping away any intimidation factor and building confidence through discipline and adaptability, ensuring he's ready for every scenario once the fight begins.
Here's a clip of Gervonta "Tank" Davis releasing footage of him training and sparring with a heavyweight ahead of his showdown with YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul that's set to take place November 14th in Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena. Tank Davis is 5'4" and he weighs in at 135. His last fight, he actually was 133 pounds. Jake Paul is 6'1" with a 76-inch arm reach, and he weighed in at 199 pounds his last fight. The fight before that, he weighed in at 224 pounds. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has a 67-inch arm reach. This is why this fight has to be ruled an exhibition and not a real professional boxing match, because no boxing commission will sanction it. Let me know what y'all think about this. As you see, Tank Davis is using and working on movement. Let me know. I'm gone. Peace.
Former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen believes Gervonta "Tank" Davis carries the weight of boxing's credibility on his shoulders in this fight. According to Sonnen, regardless of Jake Paul's ability to draw attention to the sport, it's now up to Davis to remind the world what real boxing looks like. For Sonnen, this matchup isn't just entertainment, it's a statement about the sport's integrity. Davis's mission is to prove that technical mastery, timing, and years of ring experience still outweigh social media fame and marketing. Sonnen emphasized that Tank's goal is to silence the circus surrounding Jake's career through pure skill and precision. A knockout, he added, wouldn't just be a win, it would be a reminder of what elite boxing truly represents.
Which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. my skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in, I want to say it was like 8 pounds.
As fight week approaches, new footage and reports confirm that Gervonta Davis has been rigorously sparring with heavyweight fighters in camp. These aren't light sessions. They're intense, full-contact battles designed to push Tank beyond his limits. His trainers explain that by facing bigger, stronger opponents, Davis is conditioning himself to make the actual fight feel easier. The heavyweights force him to refine his defense, enhance his head movement, and learn how to generate maximum power against larger frames. Each grueling round boosts his confidence, proving that timing, precision, and ring IQ can neutralize size and strength. It's an unconventional but highly effective strategy, one that underscores just how seriously Davis is preparing for Jake Paul as a legitimate threat. Renowned boxing trainer Teddy Atlas has spoken out, calling Gervonta Tank Davis one of the most powerful and technically gifted fighters in the sport today. According to Atlas, while many point to Jake Paul's size advantage, it will mean little once the bell rings. He believes Davis's experience against elite-level opponents gives him an edge Jake simply can't match. Atlas emphasized that Tank has faced every kind of fighter: counterpunchers, pressure brawlers, tall, rangy boxers, and defensive specialists, and adapted to each with precision. In contrast, Jake's record lacks true boxing veterans. For those asking, what if Jake lands one big shot? Atlas insists they're missing the point. Davis's composure and adaptability under fire are what set him apart from mere entertainers.
You have one guy who, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter, he can punch. And he's fighting a guy who's not a top pro fighter, who's bigger. What if he hits him on the chin? What if he hits him on the chin? It'll wind up selling. And that's what'll wind up selling. The what if. What if Tank makes him do a cha-cha? He hits him on the chin. And Jake Paul, we're going to find out if he can dance. Whoa. Do the cha-cha. That's what's going to sell it. And you can't argue that what if. You can't. I know I get to places that other people won't go and everything else that just dismiss stuff because it's easier to do that, it's safer to do that. You don't have the bows and arrows coming at you from people that argue with you because you did that, but I don't care. I've had bows and arrows my whole life, I don't care. But that's true. That what if this guy who is a real good puncher, who is one of the best fighters in the world right now, what if he hits him? What if he makes a miss and he counters him, or he jumps up in the air? Right! And he hits him. Sid Terrace was a great fighter. No, not the 1700s, but years ago. And Cus D'Amato told me he loves Sid Terrace. He said, Teddy, he used to jump up in the air and hit you with 3 jabs. I said, whoa, man, Sid Terrace. All right. Anyway, look, I can't finish without saying that it did invoke some memories and thoughts that we've been here before in a different way, where Jake Paul's brother fought Mayweather. That's not forget. And I'm not saying I like that either. I mean, first of all, Mayweather was past his prime. He was already retired. He was older, everything, but he's still the great Mayweather. And Mayweather was fighting a guy, what was it, 50-pound difference, 60-pound difference, whatever it was. And that size made a difference. It allowed Jake Paul's brother to be in there and be able to last with a smaller man, a smaller, older, greater fighter who's mostly was concentrating on defense more than just offense.
Sports analyst Max Kellerman shared a more personal perspective on Gervonta "Tank" Davis's motivation, suggesting that his decision to face Jake Paul stems from both strategic and personal reasons. According to Kellerman, Davis took the fight partly to secure long-term financial stability and gain more time with his family after years of relentless training camps and title bouts. He noted that Tank has been contemplating slowing his career pace to prioritize mental balance and family life. The Jake Paul matchup, Kellerman explained, represents more than just a business opportunity. It's a transitional moment. It allows Davis to embrace a high-reward spectacle while reminding the world that, even as he plans for the future, he remains one of the most dangerous and skilled fighters in boxing today.
You got a guy like Gervonta, who I personally think has been checked out for way longer than this last fight. I think he was checked out prior to the Roach fight. I thought this was all going to be in the works, where he was supposed to beat the 16-1 Roach and then go on to fight Jake Paul and then call it a career, because I think the people around him understood there wasn't much left in the tank for him in terms of his want or his desire to be here. He did an interview with Dan Canobio about 18 months ago where he was like, yeah, man, I just kind of want to raise my family. I don't know how much left of boxing for me. I don't want to see a therapist. I want to, I need to, but like, I don't want to take away from my fighting. But I think it's time for me to do stuff like that. So I think the writing has been on the wall for Tank for a while. So that draw was kind of just like, I was on the way out anyway. I don't need to go back in there. And I said it at the end of that fight. I'm like, there's no way we see that rematch. He was so uncomfortable in that ring with Roach. He doesn't want to feel that again. He showed that night. So I'm not surprised that fight's not happening. I'm not even surprised he's fighting Jake Paul now. It's a cash.
During the press tour, analysts Chris Mannix and Sergio Mora highlighted the stark contrast between the two fighters' personalities. Jake Paul, true to form, embraced his role as a promoter, talking loudly, generating headlines, and using his charisma to fuel attention. Gervonta Davis, in contrast, remained composed, quiet, and seemingly uninterested in the verbal sparring. Mannix noted that while Jake knows how to sell a fight, Davis knows how to win one. Mora added that Tank's silence isn't a weakness. It's proof of his focus and discipline. Both analysts agreed that when the cameras fade and the hype ends, Davis's raw skill, timing, and power will speak far louder than any words ever could.
Even though Jake Paul tried to egg him on and try to goad Gervonta Davis on, he's dealing with somebody that it's not a quick-witted, thinker. He's not a quick-witted speaker. Tank Davis is explosive in the ring. He's fast and powerful in the ring. He's charismatic inside the ring when he's punching. But when you put a microphone in front of him, he's not articulate. He doesn't know how to quickly respond to people. He stutters a lot. He does more stuttering than talking. So Gervonta Davis in front of a microphone is not going to sell. So Tank Davis shouldn't be put in a podium like that. He should have speakers for him. He should have someone talking for him. He should have a mouthpiece. Tank Davis is not going to sell this fight. And Jake Paul knows it. That's the reason he kept throwing jabs at him. He tried to get Tank out of his shell. Tank's not quick verbally enough. He's not quick-witted. He's not quick with the tongue. So in order for him to sell this fight, he's going to have an adversary that can spit something back. Like, for instance, Chavez Jr., he didn't have that quick-witted response, but he had the backing. He had the loyal following. And Chavez Jr., like many Mexicans, don't need to speak because they do all their fighting in the ring, and people know that. Tank Davis, I don't know, man. People, he didn't look good in his last fight. He's not fighting the killers in his division. People are getting off that Tank train, and we know that he's had his issues outside the ring. The love's not there anymore. Tank Davis is losing a lot of passion, a lot of followers, and people aren't buying this circus that Jake Paul's trying to sell. And I'm glad that people are getting off this train. The commission in Georgia got off this damn train. That's why they had to move this fight to Florida, where anything can happen.
Former world champion Tim Bradley revealed insider details, claiming Gervonta Davis had limited options before agreeing to fight Jake Paul. According to Bradley, Tank initially targeted a rematch with Lamont Roach, but negotiations collapsed, leaving few major opportunities on the table. With increasing pressure from promoters and networks, the Jake Paul deal emerged as the most practical and lucrative choice. Bradley admitted that while some may see it as a risky business move, it offers Davis massive exposure and financial reward. He explained that factors like management decisions, timing, and broadcast politics often shape such matchups more than fans realize. Still, Bradley is confident that Davis will capitalize on the opportunity and remind the world why he remains a truly elite, world-class boxer.
I do. I'm not making no excuses for Tank at all, but this is just my perspective, man. Tank had no other choice but to do this fight, man. He had no other choice. You know, he was in training for that Lamont Rose fight. And, you know, then the covers got pulled off, you know, and then this fight came about. You know, this is an inside thing, man. I swear, man, I'm telling y'all, this is an inside thing. You know, this is something that Al, BBC wanted Canelo to do, you know, because this is how they eat. This is how they gonna eat. This is how they gonna recoup. You know, as you know, BBC, they got no legs to stand on, man. You know, money going out, not enough money coming in. They gotta spend their own bread, you know, for everything, you know, for everything. So, you know, they need money coming in. And their guy, Canelo, left. He with Turkey now. They wanted Canelo to do this fight. And now Tank is obligated to do this fight, man. Again, to save PBC. I promise y'all, man. I'm telling you. You know, Tank was already signed up to fight a Roach rematch. He was already signed up. You know? You could just tell, man. I can tell. You know, yesterday, listening to the press conference, I saw, like, I don't know what it was. It was something with Jalen Love, and it's like a secret. I don't know what that is. It's a secret.
Following the press conference, some fans began questioning whether Gervonta Davis was fully engaged in his upcoming fight with Jake Paul. Observers pointed to his calm demeanor, distant expression, and minimal reaction to Jake's taunts. While some viewed it as laser focus, others interpreted it as disinterest. The noticeable size difference between the two fighters also reignited debates about fairness and competitiveness. Many expected Tank to be more vocal, yet he appeared calm and detached, perhaps intentionally saving his energy for fight night. However, those close to Davis insist his silence is not apathy but strategy. It's part of his mental preparation, a deliberate choice to avoid theatrics and stay locked in on what truly matters: winning.
Robertson, I really don't know how to feel about that. And to be honest with you, I still don't understand how boxing even allowed this to be made. Like, I don't. Like, dog, this is not an overstatement. Like, literally one of the core pillars holding up boxing is like this literal, like, fake superiority complex that they have over literally every other combat sport, despite literally being the least effective main combat sport there is. Brother, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, brother, I put judo over I put boxing. In terms of practicality of combat, oh yeah, 100%. Brother, if Jake Paul makes it competitive against Gervonta Davis, I'm looking at this like, brother. Oh, well, weight difference, brother. Gervonta Davis has been training his entire life. I'm sorry, bro. It's bad enough that the fact that if this was under any other combat sport, this would literally be like one of the most one-sided matchups of all time. And it wouldn't be in favor of Davis. No, dog, if you did this under an MMA rule set, oh my gosh, bro, Paul cooks Gervonta. It's not close at all. Like round one finish level. Like, understand this, Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul is taking place in literally the only combat sport where Davis should win. I'm still shocked that they allowed it to be made. Because, like, there's no upside. If Jake Paul beats Gervonta Davis, now we're kind of looking like, wait a minute. What? Like, brother, don't forget. I still think it's a horrible look that Tyson Fury couldn't finish Francis Ngannou. That is so bad. Oh, Francis Ngannou's a great boxer. Francis Ngannou, no joke, is one of the worst boxers to ever be in the UFC. He just has absurd power. No, look at the technique of Francis Ngannou. It's not that good. It's carried by power. Like, going into this, like, I'm hyped, but it's also, I'm looking at this like, bro, Gervonta has to finish, bro.
While Jake Paul has long been accused of exploiting boxing's traditions, some critics are now shifting their focus to Gervonta Davis. They argue that by accepting a fight with Jake, Tank is legitimizing the influencer boxing movement he once spoke out against. Many fans who wanted him to face top contenders feel let down, believing this bout favors spectacle over legacy. However, others defend his choice, noting that boxing has always balanced sport and entertainment. For Davis, it's about seizing control of that narrative, proving that skill, timing, and authenticity can still shine through the noise. If he dominates Jake Paul, it won't just silence critics. It could redefine the line between showmanship and true boxing excellence.
Is not the problem with boxing. Tank Davis is. Jake Paul's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's a Disney Channel kid, YouTube star turned boxer. Of course, he's gonna make these stupid spectacle matchups. He doesn't care about his career, his legacy, or the sport. Meanwhile, we have Tank Davis, the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner, who has real talent. And if he was actually consistent in the ring and was willing to get in with some of the best fighters in the world, he could be top 3 pound for pound best fighters in the sport. But instead, Tank just wants to hold up his division for 5 years and make a mockery of the sport, especially with this fight.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and insights. Until next time, keep your guard up and your focus sharp.